Hello, Marie. Hi, everyone. Um, I'm Simge Walsh. I work for Dassault Systèmes SOLIDWORKS more than 12 years as of now, and I joined our super SOLIDWORKS education team recently. And you may already know Marie Planchard. She's a guru for all students and educators. And today here we will talk about certification and how it's helped to our students and educators. Marie published too many blog posts. She's famous in this, of course, environment. I thought it would be nice way to have her also here in our YouTube channel and to hear from her. She's here to, answer all the questions we always hear from you. So, Marie, thank you to accept to be here with me today.
Thank you, Simge. It's great to be here.
Thank you very much. So, can you please talk about yourself before we start?
Sure. I've been with SOLIDWORKS and Dassault Systems for almost 19 years. Before that, I was an educator, an engineering professor and department chair at Mass Bay College for 10 years. And before that, I spent a lot of time in industry and robotics, biomedical product design, really enjoying 3D and design as a whole. And I'm really, really excited to be here with you today, Simge, to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is certification.
Excellent. So then why don't you tell us what is certification in our world?
So for SOLIDWORKS, certifications are benchmarks to measure your knowledge and competency with SOLIDWORKS software. More than that, these certifications, they establish an industry standard by which SOLIDWORKS professionals are evaluated. They're fair, comprehensive tests. And the knowledge we look at of SOLIDWORKS is in mechanical design, documentation, and design validation. Why it's important in our communities, Simge, is that hiring managers can be confident in their decision when someone says, I know SOLIDWORKS.
Yes, it's great. So, but how does SOLIDWORKS certification help students and educators?
So years ago, when I came into the company, I realized how important certification was. I took one of the first certification exams from SOLIDWORKS as a professional. It was an 8-hour exam, and I thought to myself, if my students knew this material, it would definitely help them get a job. So we created the SOLIDWORKS Academic Provider Program with the goal: provide qualified students to our commercial customers through SOLIDWORKS certifications. We also realized we had to give educators the tools to help students learn and provide that design and validation competencies with SOLIDWORKS certifications. But also, more importantly, we have to give them learning content. We can't expect our educators to develop all this. And over the years, we have actually been able to provide 25 exams on different topics to educators to give their students, both in SOLIDWORKS and our 3D Experience platform.
So here I would like to add, actually, this is great what you just said, because can we say like that, if educator wants to do something for their students, they should help them with this SOLIDWORKS certification. And if students wants to do something for themselves, they should go to their teachers and ask them, can I learn about certification? Isn't it?
Exactly. And what's great, Simge, is these certification exams are free to schools on subscription.
Yeah.
We are investing in our future. We are investing in the students and the educator. Now, there's minimum licenses that vary by geography, but the educator should contact their reseller, and that's all there is to it.
It's great, but I wonder, what is the exam like? I mean, you just said you passed. I'm sure you passed many of them, but Can you give us some information about it?
Well, I think that's the question that every student asks, right? What's on the exam? What's on the exam? Well, the good news is we have sample exams, but they follow a format. It's multiple choice, fill it in the blank, and then there's a hands-on piece. You have to actually use SOLIDWORKS tools, 3D Experience platform tools, and come up with an answer. Now, as an educator, and also, I've hired a lot of engineers over the years.
Of course.
These questions are iterative, which means we're going to ask you to give us a solution after a design change, because that's what happens in industry. It's not just an answer in the back of the book. The other thing we do, and this is why I love these exams so much as a former engineering professor, there's applied concepts in design, documentation, manufacturing, engineering theory. It's all incorporated into the exam. And as that former professor, the exams are automatically graded and randomized. So you don't have to worry if, that student just glazes out to the window and happens to be looking over at somebody else's screen, that you don't have to worry about that at all, because everybody has a different question.
Excellent. But I wonder if there are any sample about the lessons or the certification questions.
Exactly. Where do you go to find out what this is all about versus, just listening to me? Well, we have this great website called My SolidWorks, and My SolidWorks Certification learning content is there. For students, you can actually register for My SolidWorks for Students. Now, this is what our commercial customers, they pay for these resources. There's certification sample prep courses, there's individual lessons, there's learning paths. If you want to get stronger in, let's say, sheet metal, mold design, analysis, drawings, that content is there for you. And with that subscription, every single student gets a serial number, and they're able to use SolidWorks at home for free.
Amazing, amazing. I wonder what type of industry certifications are there for SolidWorks and for 3D Experience platform.
Yeah, we keep growing, right? So, in fact, I was kind of surprised. I went back to the certification team when you asked me to have this conversation with you, and I realized, oh my gosh, we have more exams. So we have a lot of exams, and I'll start first with SolidWorks. There are actually multiple levels, and the first level is our associate level exam. There is an exam called SolidWorks Associate Mechanical Design. It was formerly called CSWA. This exam really is the flagship exam. We have almost 500,000 certified users of SolidWorks just in this exam alone, okay? And it's the foundation. If you're in an educational setting, you have to take this exam first before you take the professional exams. And the professional exams are also in design. They're in drawings, mold design, sheet metal, surfacing, API, weldments, model-based definition, simulation, electrical, and flow simulation. Now, the associate level exams, they start out, of course, this SolidWorks Associate, but there's also other exams that kind of give your students an introduction to new topics. One of the ones that I really like is additive manufacturing. It's more multiple choice, but today I truly believe that students need to know something about subtractive manufacturing and additive manufacturing techniques. There is an associate level exam in electrical, simulation, and sustainability. And these exams are just, an introduction. The other area, as you know, we've introduced to education our 3D experience platform. This is a technology platform used in industry, and the SOLIDWORKS brand has developed cloud-based apps. These are apps that do not require a hard installation onto a computer. They're 100% cloud, and they also bring in new concepts of designing with a collaborative environment where students can share data, they can talk amongst themselves about design changes, and we have certain cloud-based apps that allow you to design, and not only prismatic parts, similar to SOLIDWORKS, but surfacing parts, beautiful ergonomic shapes, sheet metal and frame. There is a transformation happening in industry where our commercial customers use the 3D experience platform to store and share their SOLIDWORKS data, to have kind of a lightweight PLM or data management for revision. And because of that, we know our students will soon follow. We have also created professional exams with this SOLIDWORKS connection to our cloud platform in knowing how to use that kind of data, along with the individual certification exams in 3D modeling.
Yeah. I mean, what you are saying is amazing and exciting, because what we are saying to students, actually, if they feel ready to show how they are good on our solutions, there are different certifications for them to take and put their resume to show people what they are doing. And it's also interesting thing today when I was talking my colleagues, they were telling me in US, the most people, the companies, they are searching for SOLIDWORKS user, and it's the thousands of jobs around it about it. And I think it's great, because if they have a certification, basically they say to people, hey, I know what I'm doing, isn't it?
Exactly. And I know overall, as I follow these statistics on certification, at this time we have over 800,000 certified users. That means 800,000 people have taken an exam and passed it. And that's why this is a benchmark, Simge. It's not just, oh, I take it, it's fluffy exam, I check a credential. You really got to know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And I think for the commercial customer that has to hire recent graduates or interns, it shows that this student has gone the extra step. This educator has given the students an opportunity to document their progress and their competency.
Excellent. So, Marie, my next question I want to back to the certification exam. So what happens during the exam? I mean, there are questions is coming, but what students should do, and how does a student know if they passed the exam?
Yeah, everybody wants to know, did I pass? Did I pass?
Yeah.
Well, the good news is you don't have to wait that long, because you go through a series of questions. Some exams are an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Some exams are multi parts. So you have to take 2 hours at a time. But when you're all done, you get a certificate. And through the academic provider, through the educator, the school name is on that certificate. So students get a certificate with their name, a symbol that represents the exam, and also a unique identifier number. That certificate can be printed. I know I've walked into some schools where they have all the certificates on the wall, a copy of all the certificates. They're so proud of their students, what they have been able to accomplish. But that individual certificate number with a QR code can be scanned by a potential employer to prove that student or graduate through lifelong learning has achieved a certain level of certification.
Yeah. I wonder, is there any connection with LinkedIn or other job sites?
That is true.
Mhm.
Simge, there is a connection. We have the 3D Experience Certification Center. And if a student declares on that center that they are certified in a particular exam, that student can connect to their LinkedIn profile, which is very important. Employers can come into the certification center, and if they have a particular region, a country, a state, a province, they can
Mhm.
look for a particular exam and find the student who has made the connection either in the certification center by searching on LinkedIn. And our 3D experience exams, as you take multiple exams, we put them together and we issue badges from Credly. So these certification badges can be part of your LinkedIn profile and sent to future employers.
Amazing, amazing. But how people can track their certifications?
You know, Simge, 2 weeks ago, I took a new certification exam,
Mm.
and it was the collaborative 3D experience collaborative designer for SolidWorks, right? I learned new techniques. I learned about cloud. And at my age, I'm still taking certification exams. So I went back to the certification center and I realized over the course of my career, because some of my exams happened before I even joined Dassault Systems,
Yeah.
I have a list of all the exams I have taken over 20 years. And that certification center keeps track of those because, we move. I've had jobs all over the place, all over multiple countries. And here, this certification center keeps track of your exams from the first one you take in school all the way through your professional career.
Amazing. So my last question, Maria, I mean, we have too many things to talk, but our time is limited. I wonder how people should get started to apply their certification for educators and for students.
Okay, so for educators, the first step is to go to solidworks.com/academic-certification. And that will bring you to the SolidWorks Academic Certification Provider Program. The first link there is to apply to become an academic provider. So you click on the link, you fill in the form, you give us between 5 to 7 business days because Simge, we have to check validation. We have to make sure everything, the educator is the educator. They have a class. So it takes us a little bit of time. But then you're going to be given a welcome email, and you get step-by-step instructions how to download the exams for your students, how to get your students started, the process of tracking the exams, because we want to give the educator the information about where their students do really well and where their students need help, right?
Mhm.
So if you take an exam on parts, assemblies, drawings, maybe the scores overall for the class aren't really good in assemblies. And oh, you got to concentrate a little bit more on that. So that's where the educator goes. We
Mm.
have plenty of content for the educator to know what the exam looks like. I recommend to educators, you can just go through the exam yourself so you understand what is in the exam. It helps you be able to have conversations with your students about it. We don't require educators to take the exam. It actually could be an administrator that gives the exam to students. And in
Mhm.
some cases, we have schools that require the educator does not give the exam to their students, and they have to have an administrator from a school or another teacher or instructor give the exam to students. Now, if you're a student, these exams are free to your school on subscription. So what you want to do is go to your teacher and tell them. They cost money if you are an individual student and you go to our certification site. You know, some of the exams are $100, $50. You take a combination of exams to get a major certificate. Simge, it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of certification. And these exams can all be given to you for free. I have seen students in fact, I was just talking to Ben Newble in Cherry Creek. He has certification exams for his class, for one of the class that he gives. But then there's some of those alpha students that tell the teacher, you know, I just want to do more. I just want to do more. I want to do the next exam. I'm ready for it. And he also gives those exams to individual students that have really pushed the boundaries on their own time.
Amazing. Also, if you know students, if their school doesn't have SolidWorks, of course they can convince their teachers to contact us. But also, I think in SolidWorks Student Edition, they have a chance to have certification exams. Correct?
That is correct. And
Yeah.
if you get the SolidWorks Student Edition, you are given 2 exams for free, the
Yes.
associate level and the professional level. So here you have the software for a year, and then you're allowed to take 2 exams. You know, that's $200 worth of exams. And it really gives you a heads up in the job market if you haven't used SolidWorks, if you weren't given an opportunity to use SolidWorks in school.
Look at
Because
us, Marie, we have full of solutions.
yeah, we do. We have a lot of solutions.
Amazing.
And I also, you know, students talk. And the certification exams have been the only exams that I know of that students have asked their educator, their teacher, their instructor, can I please take this exam?
Yes.
And you think about that. You know, I never went to my physics teacher and said, can I please have an exam, professor? But I realized that the certification exams I took helped me in my career.
Yeah, same as here. I have CSWA. I have many certification about marketing and sales. It's always great to be different. So we can tell people, students, educators, if you want to be different, the way is, you know, to have a certified by us. It will help us to prove your knowledge.
Yes.
So Marie, thank you very much for your time today. And I want to thank you, the people who just watched this video. And please stay tuned because we will have more interviews with Marie. As I said before, when we started this webinar, she's a guru for us and she has too many things to share. And if you want to learn more, please keep follow us and you will see, you will learn more. Thank you, Marie.
Thank you, Simge. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.